G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is preparing to go to war with Facebook and Instagram in its parent company, Meta, over the forced payments that Facebook and Instagram, or Facebook at least, has to make to Australian news companies like News Corp and Nine Entertainment and Seven West Media, etc. And the reason the government forces them to make payments to those media companies is because claim that Facebook somehow profits from sharing links to news stories from those media companies, which is really a scam. What it really is a transfer of wealth from the Australian public to old media companies like Rupert Murdoch's News Corp and Kerry Stokes' Seven West Media. Because the reality is that the government should be forcing Facebook and Google and other high-tech companies to pay their fair share of tax, and they don't. They're not even talking about making them pay their fair share of tax. And the media companies are in on the scam. Now, what's likely to happen in the next few months is that Facebook and Instagram will ban sharing links to news sites on their platform. So if you're using Facebook or Instagram, you won't be able to share a link to News Corp or Channel 9 or Channel 10 or whatever. That'll upset them in a huge way. Now, my personal viewpoint is I don't care. Facebook blocked my Facebook page a few months ago when we were having the voice referendum. I put a post up about that, and obviously a lot of people complained and they blocked my Facebook page. So I don't care. And I wasn't getting that much traffic from it anyhow. I used to years ago, but not in recent times. They changed their algorithm and small media sites really stopped getting a lot of traffic from them. So it's not an issue. But I'm going to read you out an article in the Sydney Morning Herald it's on their website today. It's really propaganda on behalf of an old media company trying to force the government to force Facebook to pay them money. And the title of the article is Meta will play hardball, so will the government. Facebook threatens Canadian option. And it says Instagram and Facebook feeds would be stripped of news and if the federal government uses its laws to force Meta to pay for Australian journalism in a high-stakes threat that has prompted Labor to mull new laws to take on Mark Zuckerberg's social media giant. Meta, which is the owner of Facebook and Instagram, Meta's threat to pull news content from Australia should send a shudder down the spine of every small business in Australia that uses Meta as a platform to ply their trade, Assistant Treasurer Stephen Jones said. Meta has made it clear they will play hardball, so will the government, which is a quote from Stephen Jones. Labor fears a $3 trillion firm's threat would kill off smaller news outlets reliant on social media audience. And Jones said he and the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, were worried about the implications for Australian democracy if trusted information vanished. Meta has told Jones it will block news if he takes this action, and smaller publishers such as Broadsheet and the Daily Oz want Jones to avoid taking this course. And the article goes on to quote from Nine Entertainment Chairman Peter Costello and also News Corp Australia Executive Chair Michael Miller. Now, I'm a small independent journalist. I have a media site, a website, YouTube channel. And when Facebook closed down my page, I didn't care. I hadn't been getting much traffic for quite a few years. And I know a lot of the other sites hadn't either. So it didn't worry me. I just started to focus on YouTube more. And that's what other small media sites can do. But I want to address two things in the article. Firstly, they say, they quote Labor saying they're worried it would kill off smaller news outlets reliant on social media audience. No, it wouldn't. The people who are reliant on Facebook and Instagram will just move to another platform. Like I did. Facebook closed down my page. I thought, well, great, I'm not going to waste any more time on it. I'll focus on YouTube. Then the article goes on to quote, smaller publishers such as Broadsheet and the Daily Oz want Jones to avoid taking this course. You ever heard of Broadsheet? No, neither have I. You ever heard of the Daily Oz? Neither have I. So you got old media, Nine Entertainment, the Sydney Morning Herald, their paper, reliant on two small publishers that I'd never heard of. I don't think anyone would have, to support their argument. And then they go on to quote Nine Chairman and News Corp Chairman. Well, why don't they quote someone like me or other small independent media who'd say we don't care, what happens there because it doesn't impact on us. And really it's just a shakedown. The government working in cahoots with News Corporation, who are the major drivers behind it, shaking down Facebook for some cash. Instead of making Facebook pay the old media companies who push out propaganda, why not make the Facebook pay its fair share of tax where all Australians can benefit from it? And the Albanese government say, Oh, they're worried about the implications for Australian democracy if trusted information vanished. Ooh, News Corp, bullshit. They're the biggest propagandists in the country with their Sky News, their lies in their papers, their lies on Fox and everything else they publish are just full of lies. And we all know that. They had to pay $1.2 billion in America for helping promote the big fat lie that the election was stolen. So, and they're going to have to pay billions more because there's other lawsuits outstanding as well. So when they push the lie, they're worried about, trusted news sources. That's going to have a negative impact on Australian democracy if they disappear from Facebook and Instagram. Bullshit. And it's going to have very little, if any, impact on any small publisher. It might be one or two, but they'll do what I do. They'll just move to another platform, another social media platform, and start using that to promote their media. And it's going to have very little, if any, impact on any small media businesses because they'll all just move to other platforms. Most small media use multiple platforms to promote their, whether it be written articles or videos. They use multiple platforms to promote it. And if one closes down, they just move to another to add with the other ones they're already using. The likelihood that Facebook and Instagram will block media companies, individuals sharing links to media companies on their platforms is highly likely. They did that in Canada in August last year, and that's still in force. And they did it for a couple of days in 2021 here in Australia. So it's almost certain to happen again, I suspect, in the near future when the contracts with Australian media companies run out, which from what I can tell is somewhere between June and the end of this year. But what I say to the government is stop being Rupert Murdoch's puppet and doing his bidding for him, trying to make him richer, and start making Facebook and Google and everyone else, all those other social media companies or tech companies to pay their fair share of tax. For example, News Corp's never paid tax for years either. Australian media laws are nothing but a huge fraud scam, which were set up by Scott Morrison on the directions of Rupert Murdoch to help rip off the Australian public instead of making Google and Facebook pay their fair share of tax. The government make them pay Rupert Murdoch and Kerry Stokes and Ryan Stokes and Lachlan Murdoch, make them filthy rich so they can live in their $100 million houses and go on their $100 million boats and fly around the world in their $100 million planes. That's all it's doing, is ripping off the Australian public and making them richer, the media moguls richer. And Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is going to continue that fraud scheme because he doesn't want to upset Rupert Murdoch. Anyhow, Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. So please support my Patreon account. I currently have 412 patrons donating $2,351 a month. And I need to almost double it to become financially viable. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out. And the link for the Patreon account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And please hit the like and subscribe button, and please share this video on social media. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.